Can I ask you a question? How could the biggest, most allegedly profitable companies in our country, and these are global companies for the most part anyways, not just, but they're American companies, be the most indebted of all, like, the companies, period, of all companies? How are these companies, like the top 20, and these are huge companies, when I start telling you their names, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, these are companies we all know. Amazon stock, oh, it's worth $1,700, $1,500, oh. How is that possible to have a stock of that value? One share of your company, which used to be $2 20 years ago, roughly. How could you have any debt? How does one have any debt with that kind of number for shares of your company? And you're running a profitable business. You're taking in money, making profits. I mean, seems like I'd want to see a company that has no debt in profits. They made this much last year, there's no profit. I mean, there's no debt. That's the company I want to invest in. But somehow, I guess we got hoodwinked into thinking the most indebted companies are the best ones. Well, look at the share price. Look at the share price. That's why. Are we being fed a shit sandwich? Wolfstreet.com. The companies with the most debt in America. The concentration of corporate debt, the top 46. The U.S. Justice Department today approved the merger of T-Mobile, the third largest wireless carrier, and Sprint, the fourth largest wireless carrier. For the merger to go forward, they will have to sell Sprint's prepaid brands to Dish. As for the rest, whatever this does to competition and rates for wireless services, one thing is for sure, it creates another U.S. debt monster. T-Mobile has $37.4 billion in short-term and long-term debt. Sprint has $39.8 billion. Combined, they will have $77.2 billion in debt. This includes only debt, not other liabilities, such as accounts payable, income tax payable, accrued payroll, or the catch-all other liabilities. Short-term debt is due within 1 year and includes long-term debt that matures within 1 year. Long-term debt is due in over 1 year. Capitalized leases, this is a big item with Amazon, are long-term debt. After the merger, the combined T-Mobile and Sprint, with $77 billion in debts, would move up to the 9th most indebted company in the United States, just ahead of Walmart, but just behind CVS. Again, I can't. How can you be so massively in debt, still have plenty of money to merger, buyout, and be in debt? How could you have debt and do all these things? It just boggles my mind. This is the latest product of the concentration of debt in the U.S. Telecom mergers and acquisitions have created these behemoths. AT&T, number one, most indebted company in America, with a fabulous $191 billion in short-term and long-term debt. Verizon, number three. Hi, number three, I'm number two. Third most indebted company in America, with a still fabulous $136 billion in debt. Comcast, number four, most indebted company in America, $113 billion in debt. And Charter Communications, number 10, most indebted outfit in America with $75.3 billion in debt. I'm counting only non-financial companies. This excludes financial companies such as banks that borrow money to lend money. But there are some gray areas in this distinction. This gray area includes the number two most indebted U.S. company, Ford. Ford with $159.7 billion in debt. Its wholly owned subsidiary, Ford Credit, is its financial arm and captive auto lender that borrows money to lend money. So be it. Several companies in this group have financial subsidiaries. Apple is number five, with $112.6 billion in debt, a result of its all-time record-breaking share buybacks with which it blew past GE, another share buyback queen, before its house of cards threatened to collapse, with $111.7 billion in debt. Those are the 6 non-financial publicly traded companies, each with more than 100 billion in debt. In fact, the top 10 most indebted companies combined have a breathtaking 1.2 trillion in debt. These days, we throw trillions around to stay fit on a daily basis, but it's still real money, so to speak. This is the outgrowth of the massive concentration of debt in the U.S. corporate world. Corporate debt has ballooned in many countries, in terms of magnitude, in terms of trillions of dollars, and in terms of how fast this debt has ballooned. No country can hold a candle to China's corporations, though they now have to deleverage, forced or otherwise. On that global scale, and as a percent of GDP, the U.S. corporate debt is only in 24th place. Here are some countries with the most corporate debt he links to. And an interesting thing happened on Amazon's balance sheet. Its long-term debt, which includes capital leases, jumped by 77% in just 6 months, from 33.1 billion at the end of 2018 to a point of 58.5 billion by the end of June. This moved Amazon up to the number 12 most indebted company in America. So I did some manual digging, and below are the 46 most indebted, publicly traded, non-financial companies in the U.S. Each has at least 20 billion in short-term debt and long-term debt. Combined, they have $2.6 trillion in debt. To get a feel for how much 2.6 trillion in debt is, this is equal to the total debt of the government of France, and more than the debt of Germany's government. The data is based on recent quarterly reports. Let me know if I left something out of your favorites. The minimum qualifies is 20 billion. And I will update the table. ST debt denotes short-term debt. LT debt denotes long-term debt. If your smartphone clips the table on the right, the total column is missing, hold your device in landscape position. You can search the table via the search function in your browser. All amounts are in billions of dollars. From worst, or better yet, from terrible to worse. AT&T, number 1. Ford, Verizon, Comcast, Apple, GE, GM, CVS, Walmart, Charter Communications, Microsoft, Amazon, Dell, Oracle, IBM, United Technologies, Pfizer, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, ExxonMobil, United Health, DuPont, AbbVie, Nextra Energy Inc., Sprint, T-Mobile, Chevron, Exelon, HCA Healthcare, Kinder Morgan, Caterpillar, Home Depot, Amgen, American Airlines, Pepsi, Kraft Heinz, Philip Morris, Procter & Gamble, Intel, Enterprise Products, UPS, Allergen, Cisco, Simon Properties, Union Pacific, and First Energy, 1 through 46. Maybe I just don't understand, and maybe one of you do, and you can write it out if you feel like it in the comment section. Let's go with the first one. AT&T. 12.6 billion short-term, 178 billion long-term. Ford, 54.9 short-term, 104.9 long-term. How could you have that much debt and still be a company in existence, chugging along, paying out the little fees for the debt, interest, so to speak, bonds, the whatever? Maybe I just can't wrap my head around it. Maybe it's like a Ponzi scheme, and at the end of some period of time where the debt's too huge, they can't, quote unquote, service the debt, and then everything implodes. And that's around the time their stocks, no matter how hard the U.S. government tries to rig it higher, collapses. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Something's going on here. We do know that. So it's mind-boggling. 2.3, what was it, trillion in debt, those companies combined. Our debt, not that awfully long ago, maybe a couple decades, 20 years ago. I mean, what was that? We were at, no, maybe a little longer than that, because I think when Bush, I don't know if it was when he took over or left, it was 6 trillion. It might have been 6 trillion when he left. Then Obama came in, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't quite remember. But I do know one thing. I think it was 1980 when we had our first $1 trillion in debt. As a country. As a country. When was it $2 trillion? By 1990? Probably. Somewhere around there. And maybe it was $3 trillion when Bush took over. I don't remember. I used to have these stats handy, but I don't have them right now. And these companies have that right now? Again, this is real money. Like he says, we throw trillions around to stay fit these days. It's still real money. Just like if I had this, little 1 ounce round here of silver. I've got like a few coins sitting here forever. Just when I was just stick them up for showing purposes. I have like 3 coins there. But that coin, whether it's 30 years old or today, it's still 1 ounce of silver. Therefore, $1 trillion or 2.3 trillion from a few companies is still $2.3 trillion. How do they deal with this? Why are they in debt? These companies should be the most profitable on the face of the earth. You should have no debt. You shouldn't need to do anything with this. We don't need bonds, but no, we're profitable. Why go into debt? That's stupid. Right? Now us, sheep, we have to go into debt. You turn 18, you're an adult. Oh, do I get like 50K from the government? Like hey, welcome to... No. You were welcomed in before you could even think. When you were 0 years old, you were just born. Your mom and dad signed your birth certificate. That's when you became a debt slave. You didn't know that. But no, you didn't get any money then too. At least when you play Monopoly, you can, here's some money. Everyone starts with money. Let's go play the game. You got some properties at some point during that game. You did play the game. You at least had a chance to fight, right? In this damn debt slave system we're all in, there's no chance. You aren't born with it unless you're born rich. And most of us aren't. I sure as hell wasn't. I was lower middle class. Pretty much till I moved out of my house, I guess. My parents. Or maybe, I don't know, did we slightly start squeaking into middle class? I mean, maybe. Certainly not upper. No way. But you don't have a chance. I gotta go start working. How much can I make? Minimum wage. Back when I was young, $4.25. Now they want $15 an hour for everybody. Yeah. McDonald's, meet your new $15 an hour employee. There's 5 guys in the back. Used to be 15 people working there. The rest of it's now computerized, and the 5 guys in the back, they're still humans working. So now we have more people not working. That's $15 an hour. But I don't even know what it's at right now. 10, 9 something. What is US? What is minimum wage? Washington, D.C. Oh, there's a whole chart. This is interesting. Alabama, $7.25. Alaska, $9.84. Arizona, $10.50. Arkansas, $8.50. California, $11 with an asterisk. What's the asterisk? What's the asterisk? $12 rate is for California employers with 26 or more employees. Employers in California with 25 or less have a minimum wage of just $11. Could you imagine? Maybe you can, because you may be one of these people. $700,000 houses in California is like a minimum. In many places in California. 2-bedroom, 700 square foot. You and your spouse, I'm going to give you the bonus of $12 an hour. $24 an hour collectively. You can't even even if it was 1% interest, pay the mortgage. You're not going to be able to. Anyways, I see some 10, 825, 1325, Washington, D.C. And it might be 14, again, asterisk, possibly. Oh, no. That's the 2019 minimum wage. I'm looking at 2018, sorry. So Arkansas is up a little bit, $9.25 an hour. Florida was $8.25, now it's $8.46. Georgia, $5.15. Georgia. And this year, it's still $5.15. Employers subject to the Fair Labor Standards Act must pay the $7.25 an hour federal minimum wage, it says. Hawaii, 10. Idaho, $7.25. A bunch, $7.25. Let's try to see who's the big top dog. Looks like Washington, D.C. at this point. Yep. $11.50 Washington State. And it says Washington, and then 12 Or Washington. I think that's Washington State. Anyways. You don't even stand a fighting chance. You come to find out that everything you do, man, I just can't seem to get ahead. So you, like the corporations I just mentioned, got to go into debt. I'm not able to just go buy a house. I don't have cash to say, oh, I bought this house. Nope. You got to work for it, but we'll make it easy for you. We'll let you pay. We'll let you pay us bankers huge interest payments over the course of 30 years of your life. Pretty much your entire adult life is going to be spent paying on a mortgage on a house. And then you can pay it off and maybe retire. Unless we suck you into refi your house. The price never comes down. You could buy a second house, flip it and sell it. And we approve everybody without doing any background checks, any labor work checks, nothing. And you fell into it. Market crashes. You had to get rid of your house. They foreclosed on you and you got to start all over again. But you've got that on your record, so you got to wait several years and then do it again. Well, damn, I did that 10 years into my mortgage. Now I got to start over 5 years later from now. Plus the 30, I'll be 70. You don't stand a fighting chance. So what do? Credit card. You can't pay for that car. Nope. Auto loan rates, $4.25%. Gotta get a loan on a car. Can't buy that. Certainly can't buy a house. Gotta get a loan on that. What the hell do you get to have that you don't have a loan on? Well, I want to go do something with the kids. Let's go get some four-wheelers or something. I'm tired of working like a slave. I need to go have some fun. Oh, well. Do you have thousands of dollars laying around? Well, no. We can finance you. We can put you in a 7 or 8 year four-wheeler financing program. Off-road vehicle specialist. Oh, okay. The next thing you know, you're paying your bills, kind of, but you're straddled in debt, so you're not really making any headway. And then one little thing happens. Oh, don't have the money for that, put it on the credit card. And another thing happened, and then you find yourself, I can't pay for any of this. Foreclosed, if you will, repoed four-wheelers. Repoed car. And a lot of it has to do with us living beyond our means. But what does everybody do? Everybody. I'm guilty of it too. You've been a slave your whole life. You get a little bit of extra money. Oh, I don't want to live in this neighborhood. It's getting kind of crappy. I'd rather live in a nicer area for my kids to grow up. Who wouldn't? Time to move. $1,100 payment. Bye-bye. Welcome $1,600 payment. Oh. Old jalopy car breaking down, this and that. High mileage. Get rid of it. Go get a newer car. Even if it's used, a couple years old, newer car, still. Gotta finance it. What does everybody do? We go and get the most we can get with what we have income-wise. That's what we do. I want the best that I can have with what I have. Right? I don't want to go live in the slums and earn a lot of money. No, my kids don't need to be around that. I don't need to be around that. I need to get out in a nicer area. Right? We all do it. So no matter what you do, this is interesting. No matter what you do, no matter what level or status of society, of success, or how much money I make, no matter what you do, we always seem to go the next level up and have the same thing that everyone else below us, so to speak, have. Got a car, just a little nicer car than you with a payment. Got a house, a little nicer house than you with a payment. And at the end of the day, I'm no more better, in this example, no more better than the person below me or above me. It's just amazing how we do that. But how else do you live and survive and just function in this society not doing that? When the system is that, and you can't not play the game or else you die, well, I got to go play this. I got to go get in there. Put me in, coach. Not that I want to, but put me in, coach. And then you really see how sucky, how hard you work for crap wages. While Amazon and AT&T all will just get massively in debt and doesn't matter. We'll just keep chugging. Well, like father, like son, I guess I'll do the same. Again, I don't have a choice. I could either work my whole life, enjoy none of it, be stressed out my whole life, or go get that damn loan for that little four-wheeler or jet ski or whatever the hell it is I want so my family and I can have some fun sometime because I deserve it. I work so hard, right? And you do. And they just got you. Oh, but you don't have the money for that. No, but your wages, again, I don't even care. We don't even have to look at it. You just make the payment. I'm in sales. I need my commission. Just make the payment. You're approved. Trust me, you're approved. Okay. You probably shouldn't get it. You're scraping by, but that guy needs his commission. Again, he's got to survive. He's got a house to pay, as a matter of fact. In a jet ski, possibly. In a car or two loaned out. He's got to make his money. So our whole society is, how much can I squeeze off the bastard walking in those doors right now into my office or my place of business? How much can I get that son of a bitch for? But I'm going to smile. I'm going to shake your hand. I'm going to make you feel very comfortable that I'm extremely truthful with you. I'm not going to tell you, like Lindsey Williams said, you know, are you going to pay $15 for that lampshade at the end of the way? Or, you know, when he talked about, he gave an example one time. He was talking about like a lamp store. He says, you know, you walk into the lamp store, the American-made store, or the Chinese garbage inside the American store, and you can get a lamp or lampshade, whatever he was talking about, for $10. And you as the sales guy know, well, I'm charging a lot for this. If this guy only knew that down at the other end of this strip mall, there's another store that has these pretty much the same thing cheaper. Are you going to do the right thing and explain to that individual, look, I'm charging $15 for this thing. The guy at the end's got 10. You come for $10. No, hell no. I need your money. I need to live. I got debt too. I'm going to do my best job to make you go with us. Even though I know in my heart there's a better solution right down the end of the damn walkway. But because we need money, he needs money. All seeing, all powerful, all knowing, but he needs money. George Carlin. We have to do it. We have to do it. Oh. So, are you shocked at any of this? Not a chance in hell you are. So now, how does one work within that system to get out of freaking debt early? Because we're in debt, but how do you get out of it earlier than you're supposed to? I think cryptocurrencies might be the answer. Fingers crossed, baby. Take care.